We have a Hocus Pocus 2 release date. We have a new Gremlins movie, a Pirates of the Caribbean 6 update, news on Rob Zombie's The Munster movie, and a movie based on the Fall Guy 80s TV series. We need to get started. Welcome to Fantasy Films. If you're new here, I'm Kevin, and I have to apologize for not being here for quite a few days. I've had a lot going on in the background, and I just have not had ample time to get down here and make the videos I need to make. So I do greatly apologize, but we're going to make up for that today. So let's start off with some Pirates of the Caribbean 6 news. Now, I'm going to start off with this because, let's face it, everybody's probably watching the Johnny Depp trial right now. But the question is, will he be returning for Pirates of the Caribbean 6? And the answer to that is no, not as of yet. And the producer, Jerry Bruckheimer, says it's not likely going to happen, although the future is not set in stone. Jerry Bruckheimer is working on 2 separate scripts for Pirates of the Caribbean 6, one of which has a starring female lead that is being written for Margot Robbie. Now, that is super interesting. I can actually picture her in a lot of roles, but a pirate role is not one that I would initially think of her in. But as versed as she is, and the many different roles that this girl has shown to have been able to play, a pirate is probably right up her alley. I mean, if you can play Harley Quinn, why can't you play a pirate? I think this might actually be pretty good. Now, again, there is a second script being written that is not going to involve Margot Robbie. We're not sure who it's going to involve or the plot for either one of them. Now, Johnny Depp himself said he was not going to play Captain Jack Sparrow again, and I quote, even if Disney offered him $300 million and 1 million alpacas. Now, I don't see the appeal of 1 million alpacas, but $300 million could get me to do a lot. Who remembers that 80s TV series, The Fall Guy? I absolutely love the truck. The guy did some really cool stunts in it. It was a show I watched a little bit. I can't say it was something I was as addicted to as, say, Knight Rider. But it seems like somebody's looking to make a new movie based on that TV series. And Ryan Gosling is said to be starring in it. Now, that is not 100% official yet, but it's said that he is in final negotiations. So it looks like it's most likely going to happen. Now, it says that Universal has picked up this movie and is said to start shooting in Australia with director David Leitch. And according to Variety, The Fall Guy will employ 1,000 Aussie crew and 3,000 extras. Now, just like the series, the movie is set to follow a Hollywood stuntman who has a side hustle as a bounty hunter to make ends meet. Now, the series actually had a pretty good run from 1981 to 1986, and it had quite a fan base. So I want to know what your thoughts are on making The Fall Guy a movie. Have you seen it? Do you not even have a clue what this is? But even if you don't, what do you think of a Hollywood stuntman being played by Ryan Gosling, who picks up a side hustle as a bounty hunter? Sounds interesting, right? Of course it does. Now for one I am super excited for. We are actually getting a Gremlins animated series. This is technically about magwais, and this is a prequel to the Gremlins, and it's described as American computer animated fantasy comedy set to release on HBO Max in the United States. The series will consist of 10 episodes and serve as a prequel to the 1984 film Gremlins and its 1990 sequel, The New Batch. Now, we have some pictures of the characters and who's going to be playing them, and I like this animation style. We don't see this animation style very often, at least I haven't seen it often here in the States, but it's very unique. I really like it. But we have this picture of Gizmo here. It's our first look at Gizmo, and it looks like he's having fun or jumping around, or I'm not sure what he's doing here. A bamboo wheel or something that he's rolling around in. Could possibly be a cage that fell over. That might be what he's doing, jumping out or over a cage or something that he may have escaped from. And before I get into the characters, we have a little synopsis here of the movie we're going to run over real quick, and it goes like this. Steeped in China's rich culture and mythology, Gremlins: Secrets of the Magwai takes viewers back to the 1920s Shanghai, where the Wing family first discovers the mysterious creature. Sam Wing, the youngest in the family, accepts the dangerous task to take Gizmo home and embarks on a journey through the Chinese countryside. Sam and Gizmo are joined by a teenage street thief named Ella, and together they encounter and sometimes battle colorful monsters and spirits from Chinese folklore. Along their quest, they are pursued by power-hungry industrialists and his growing army of evil gremlins. Now, I am totally down for an origin story, especially when it involves Gizmo and Sam Wing, which they were talking about being the kid who goes and discovers Gizmo, is going to be played by Isaac Wang. Now, we also have Fong Wing, who's going to be played by Ming-Na Wen. Not 100% sure I even pronounced that right. If you are a regular here, you know I suck at pronunciations, so I apologize. Next on the list we have for characters is Hong Wing. Now, he's going to be played by B.D. Wong. You'll recognize him from Jurassic Park and many other movies. And we have Grandpa, played by James Hong. This is a pretty stout casting. We got some pretty big names here. So this gives me some really high hopes on this movie. Again, I love the animation. I love the actors playing these characters. So I think this is going to be a fantastic movie. I can't wait for this to come out. But unfortunately, we do not know when it's going to be coming out because there's no release date as of yet. But we do have a release date for Hocus Pocus 2. And before I tell you what that is, make sure you're leaving your comments down below on all the topics we're covering today. Now, Hocus Pocus 2 is another movie that I am super excited for, and we finally have an official release date from Disney Plus that the Sanderson sisters will be haunting the screens September 30th, 2022. Just to recap, it's been 29 years since someone has lit the black flame candle and resurrected the 17th century sisters who were executed for practicing witchcraft, and they are looking for revenge. Now it's up to 3 high school students to figure out how to stop the ravenous witches from wreaking new havoc on Salem before midnight on All Hallows Eve. Now, while Hocus Pocus 2 was filming, I tried to cover as much of the set photos and behind the scenes that were going on as I possibly could. If you haven't seen those videos, please go check it out. It's fantastic footage. I think this is going to be a great movie. If you saw the original, I want to know if you're excited for part 2. Now, I know it's always scary with the sequel because the original was always the best, and it's kind of hard to think of this sequel being as good as the original. But I have high hopes. I think this is going to compete. I don't know if it's going to be better. That's a big standard because the first one was really good. But let's just hope this can at least do the first one justice and hopefully be just as enjoyable. All right, so let's cover some new information we have on Rob Zombie's The Munsters. This movie has been in development and filming process for about a year now. And every time Rob Zombie drops a new photo on his Instagram, I'm giving it to you guys and trying to follow this movie as closely as humanly possible. Now, the last thing we heard, it was confirmed that Universal has picked up the movie and was set to be released on the Peacock app. But now, according to Bloody Disgusting, they're saying they have an exclusive stating that Netflix is buying the Munsters movie and that they were going to release it this coming fall. Now, that is a rumor. I do not want to confirm that because nobody as of right now can confirm it. Bloody Disgusting again is saying they have an exclusive on this. I'm going to keep a close eye on this, but I am going to label this as a rumor because I can't confirm it through Netflix or Rob Zombie yet, and they're really the only two I'm confirming anything through. But this is something I think we should keep an eye out on. Again, the only confirmation we had prior was that Universal purchased it and was going to be released on Peacock. Now we're being told Netflix. Is it possible that more than one platform has purchased it? I don't know. From what I have seen through Rob Zombie's Instagram and everything else, there's been no word of this. But what I can tell you is that Peacock is streaming the original Munsters series right now. So if you've never seen it before, you can go there, check it out, and see what all the hype is about. And if you have seen it, then maybe you want to go back and rewatch it and get caught up before you witness Rob Zombie's take on it. But that's all the movie news I have for you today. Make sure you leave your comments down below on everything we talked about. If you made it this far, thank you so much. I do greatly appreciate it. Make sure you drop a like on the video for me. Hit that subscribe button on your way out. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.